what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Today we're down here in the fish room and I wanted to make a real quick video regarding the Reef Tanks for Veterans giveaway. Since tomorrow morning, the boys and I, as well as my training partner Jason, are actually heading down bright and early at like 6 a.m. 2.5 hours south to Washington, D.C. or outside Washington, D.C. to actually meet up with Corey, our winner of the Reef Tanks for Veterans, which is that 180 gallon. If you missed it or you're new to the channel or you don't know what I'm talking about, I will put links to those two videos in the description just in case you're interested in entering to win or being part of the process. Now, with that said, we are heading down there trying to meet around 9 a.m. And thankfully, Corey is bringing a moving company, so I won't have to do a lot of lifting, which is going to be great, especially because I'm going to have the boys. And yeah, so we're going to be meeting him, getting that all set up, and hopefully get him on his way. Now, in this video, I want to talk about that process a little bit, but I also want to talk about some of the extra things that we're going to be giving Corey. A couple of them are here on the table. And as you can see, we do have the calcium reactor from the 300-gallon Reef. If you guys remember this bad boy, we took it off and replaced it with the upgraded version through Geo's Reef. And a lot of you guys asked me if you could buy this reactor, and yes, I turned you down, but there was for a good reason. I wanted to give it away to Corey, or at least one of our Reef Tank for Veterans builds. And I figured, hey, he's got the tank, the sump, the stand. Why not add a calcium reactor that's going to be plenty big enough for a 180-gallon Reef, regardless of how stocked of SPS it is. He won't ever have to use any other outside source of supplementing calcium alkalinity, because this bad boy will take care of it all. So, pretty stoked to go ahead and give him that. It does need to be cleaned, but, you know, listen, man, I don't really want to clean it. I might hose it down, but it's not that dirty. It's just it's a little sandy. It's not that bad, but either way, it's perfect. It works fine. No issues with it, of course. And all he'll have to do is add the media, CO2, and his pH probe for his controller. So also, we do have a little bit of GFO. I do have some carbon as well as some 2-part, just in case he wants to use that. And we do have a DCT 15,000 JBO return pump. As you guys know, I have one of these on the 300-gallon Reef, which actually powers the majority of the setup there. And that was donated from Steven. Shout out to him. I will put a link to his stuff in the description. He wanted to donate something to the build, and a return pump is what he chose, and it worked out pretty good. It's an awesome pump, more than enough power for the 180-gallon setup. So, on top of that, I do have some Aquatic Life T5 retrofit kit lights. I'm just going to go through tonight and make sure everything is working correctly on those. I will be giving them to him as well, so he'll have his T5 supplemented lighting good to go. He can just add his Radions or his Kessels or whatever he chooses for LEDs in between. He'll be good to go with that. I'm going to give him some heaters, some controllers for the heaters, and a few miscellaneous things here and there. But overall, he's got a ton of stuff. It's a great setup, and I mean, he really only has to add water, rock, and maybe if he wants to add an Apex, he can. Regardless, he's going to be good to go right off the bat. Now, when it comes to this setup, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and he's going to load it up tomorrow, get it to his house. I'm going to show you guys as much of that process as I can. And then I know that's super blue. I was going to show you guys some stuff, but that's super blue. So we're going to show you that process as much as I can. I'm going to record tomorrow. I'll bring my gimbal along with me, the tripod, all that good stuff. And what we'll do is we'll do a follow-up video going through that process, and then once his tank is set up at his house, which he's only about an hour south of me, something like that, we will go over and meet Corey, sit down with him, talk about his service, talk about all that good stuff, and look at the tank, the setup, how it's doing. And I do have a big chunk of coral for him. It's really blue, but there's a ton of frog spawn. I got some pearlberry, acroporus. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to give him for his setup once he's got it up and running and stable. And yeah, so we'll be bringing him coral, maybe some fish. We'll kind of figure out that whole process and see what we can get before before we go. So with that, it's going to be a pretty fun day. Hopefully, it's supposed to be really hot tomorrow. Unfortunately, I mean, like 92. For me, 92 is pretty hot. It is what it is. But again, we're going to take the boys down there, try to make a day of it. Maybe we'll see some sights or something on the way back. But it should be pretty good. So with that said, if you guys are interested in participating in our next Veterans giveaway, just follow the channel. I will post up. I think I'm going to do a DIY the next one. I might buy like a tank, a stand, and then make my own overflow, get my own lighting, all sorts of stuff. I might do a DIY setup, something small, maybe like a 60-gallon or something, just so I can get more tanks out there, because it's always nice to do the expensive $10,000 reef tanks. It's always nice to do that, but if I want to get more of them out there, I got to make them cheaper, and maybe do a DIY setup. Somebody just starting, some veteran just starting to get into the hobby. Maybe we'll change the criteria a little bit. Like, you don't have to be overseas veteran, you can just be somebody that's in the service. We get you a free tank, even if it is a 60-gallon, maybe even if it is a 55-gallon, something, get you set up, get you started, get you into the hobby and going. So maybe we'll do that for our next one. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and when we do the giveaway, I'll announce it. I'll do a separate video, and then you could submit your information. Now, if you've already submitted it before, that's not going to count for the next build, because it's hard to keep track of that stuff when I get hundreds of applications. I can't really keep track of all that stuff. I'm sure there's a system out there for it, but I haven't found it yet. So what I'll do is I'll make a video, and you can submit your information based on that video. Even if you're submitting every single tank build, that's fine. Again, I'll give you all the details and that whole process along the way. So with that said, I think that's it for the video. I will be putting out an update video next week. I will be getting back into the swing of videos. I was hoping last month the custody stuff would have been done with the boys, but it got pushed out another 4 months. Had some issues at my old BJJ gym. I transferred to another gym. I got a huge tournament coming up actually this Sunday. If I take the gold there, I go to the finals, which is on the 17th. So it's a pretty big week. It's been a lot of stuff going on in the past month. So I haven't really sat down and created a lot of content, but I miss you guys. I miss being here. And I can't wait to show you guys the 300. I know it's super blue, but there is a ton of stuff growing in this tank. It is just, it's rocking. It's so beautiful. Nutrients, I will tell you guys right now, I've been rocking some high nutrients, and I've seen a major difference, and we could talk about that. Plus, I got a ton of coral in. There are a ton of stuff growing here. We got probably, I don't know, like 200, 300 heads of frog spawn. It's on the website if anybody's interested. There's a ton of stuff, and we can talk about that later as well. So, with that said, I appreciate everybody being here. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. All right? Peace.